Welcome to the World News. The date will be in the title. It's been about weeks since last World News session. We have an update for the domain of Moors. So, Bardus, as
Yeah.
you are summoned before you is this tiny gnome with his multicolored eyes, long white hair. This one does have a long, very well trimmed beard, and full with a full mustache that seems to be more of an organic take, as he seems to use it more as when he's thinking. Um, he is not in a lab coat, but rather pure golden, like armor or of a sorts, shaped in the same form as a nobleman would wear to like a party of sorts. So a nice suit, but made of metal that seems to float on his body. You do see strange colored fluids and liquids kind of moving throughout the suit, as well as you see little glass tubes. Um, and as you make your request to explain the chair, he kind of gives it once over. Kind of looking at it, he seems to be a little puzzled by it for a moment or two. And that is when he tells you that you already have the means to send out an avatar. You just aren't powerful enough yet. That the chair technically has no limits to its power or potential, but it is limited by its user's power. So theoretically, you have the means. You just need to gain more power. As he kind of explains this, he kind of watches your interest for a moment to see kind of judge what you're doing. And as so, after explaining this, he informs you straight that he is going to go straight to the layers of hell to fulfill that secondary request. Getting up to about the third layer, Zopip gets bored as it's become too easy to the
Well,
point where even
I
mortals could be killed.
I
Could
say
kill them.
I have a stronger target for him if he's interested. So I
Well,
mean,
as Zopip returns, having technically fulfilled the job, handing you the
yeah,
heads of each of the fiends that were left there, he makes his request to leave.
yeah. All right.
Okay.
I don't want to hold him here. I'm gonna be honest. I never wanted to summon him in the first
All
place.
right, Zopip, as you head down to the mortal plains, you land in a city. You see a city that kind of catches your attention as it sparkles, reminiscing you of home. As you see large towers of gold with gems all stuck throughout them, it looks like a great place to start and enjoy yourself for a time. And a large supply of gold never hurt, at least for the judgment of designing electricity that you had found in your previous time.
Fair.
When
Very
you
conductive.
Yes, when you land, the Rakshasa that lived there immediately bow down to you, sensing your power. Don't not even trying, as the king removes his crown and puts it at your feet. For a moment though, you suddenly feel a sort of invisible collar around your neck, and you know what this is. And the mana, while it feels unfamiliar and uncomfortable, you manage to summon up enough of it, and you snap the tether to you, Bardris, and you are let
Yeah,
loose on this world.
I was planning on freeing him anyway, but yeah. All right.
Bardris, as you feel this tether break, you take a moment and you realize this is something strange. You've never felt like a tether to someone break on you without any explanation. Um,
Be
and
fair. Never had a tether tied to me in the first place.
that's true. Um, and as you're kind of taking a moment to contemplate this, suddenly a familiar figure appears. As that same black haired gnome with the little goatee wearing a full suit and having a brown dragon's tail sticking out the back suddenly reappears in front of you with his red beady eyes.
Yeah. Before he says anything, I'm just like, do you have another request? I was working on the one you gave me. Keep in mind of the deal.
Ten Sub kind of stops for a second and smiles and says, as you suddenly feel yourself being turned around forcibly to look at
Yeah,
him,
I'll roll with it. Yeah, sure.
and you feel your pressure being pushed down, you are shoved to your knee. He takes a moment and kind of like smiles as he looks down at you. You can tell he's enjoying the power over you he has.
I mean, I'm not going to fight. I know a fight I can't win.
He takes a minute and goes, "You have no idea what you've done, so I'm going to show you." And he opens up this picture of sorts. As you see this large orb kind of spread out, you see the world of Silencia, what you knew. You see the cathedral, that is a very famous... Bargus would know it very well, but the Oventium bricks are missing. In fact, there's no church there, and there's a giant pool of what looks to be this strange blue liquid, and you see screaming faces popping up every once in a while in this blue liquid. And as you kind of look around, you see more and more of this, as those few mortals that aren't stuck in this are chained to desks, writing down magical spells. And then Tensub closes the vision off and he goes, "What do you think that was?"
Mortal World?
"Yes, but not yours. That Zilpip you just unleashed on the world, that is not your Zilpip. That Zilpip made a deal that even I can't alter. That Zilpip made a deal with Thief himself. This Zilpip, basically, in short, came down on the High King and liquefied him. Why? Because the man looked at him wrong. He showed up at the pantheon of the gods, at the gates themselves to the domain of order, melted them, let all of the beasts loose to ravage the world, and then decided to take as many of the gods as he could to steal them into the judgmental, or the weight, or as a weight for this judgment. And not only after that, he took what every single mortal alive and decided to try and wait to see how much it compared to the gods and see how corrupt they were, just to make a point that he was less evil than they were. This Zilpip made the gods that you know look as if you were, at your current situation, fighting a mortal child. And you just set him free. I ask, explain to me how that is not destroying the world."
Well, by technical wording, doesn't matter how many people die. If the world exists, the world's not destroyed. Thus is non-specified contract.
Tensub just...
As long as the entire world doesn't blow up.
Tensub just kind of takes a second and smiles at you and looks at you and goes, "Oh, my friend, I am not stone. I am not some sweet godling who needs your power." And he goes, "But I'm a vindictive asshole. So congratulations." And he snaps his fingers. You find yourself, Bardris, at level 1 with no gear. Nothing but the clothes on your back from when you were a scholar starting out. Back to your basic equipment, and you are on the island of the Rakshasa as you look around. And that is where we will end the world news today.
Well,